So let's talk about mainstream social norms. This video is called I Rather Live in Reality and Deal in Truth Than Deal in Mainstream Social Norms. Now, in order to save time, I might, say, hi, how you doing when I'm buying some groceries or something. When I go out to dinner with my family, I might behave in a way that reflects social norms and pretend that I see it that way, as a matter of convenience. Or I might be silent, keeping my disgust to myself. One thing I will never sink to the level of doing is being some kind of unwise scumbag that consistently lives in a way that reflects an appalling lack of understanding, which leads to complicity in the propagation of mainstream social norms. The propagandists that spread these social norms the hardest are themselves disgusted by these social norms for the most part, and they themselves do not see it this way or that way. Rather, they see it from their own perspective and not the typical understanding of someone who is hopelessly lost and complicit and living, breathing, and spreading mainstream misconceptions and social norms. Mainstream social norms are one of the most oppressive ideas that exist. How many people have been ripped off by colonists and neo-colonialist comprador elite type trash that have come into contact with them and used their lack of understanding of mainstream social norms to exploit them. And of course, one of the patches, which I just decided I'm going to make the picture of this video, says exploiter, right? So when I have a system in which I know how to cheat and game thoroughly, and you're kind of new to it, or you don't have the network that I have, and I insist that you do it my way, does it take a genius to figure out that that's a bad idea? Kind of like any other martial art competition other than a traditional one. It's like, well, let's go do ballerinas, and say I'm fucking the ballerina champion of the world, and this is not martial arts, this is being a ballerina or a UFC fighter. You see what I'm saying? There absolutely is connected. That's what I mean when I say they're hiding behind white social norms and mainstream misconceptions. Babylonians have the upper hand when they force you to live in Babylon's system. Lawyers have the upper hand if you want to play the legal game with them. Police have the upper hand when it's your word versus theirs, and so on and so forth. So as soon as they can get you to play their game, they have the upper hand by default. And what's worse is this has been historically done time and time again, to the point where there is many a pretentious, contentious, cocky, rapscallion devil who has a smirk on his face while he tries to get you to sink to the level of lingering and dwelling in a mainstream, socially normative hell. This abominable practice is repugnant at best. It is detestable. These iniquitous traitors, they cheat you. They cheat you and they cheat you. And in this game, they know how to sabotage you. while they cheat you. Even if they didn't sabotage you at all, they already are cheating you. So when they target you for sabotage, good luck getting a fair shake after that. You'll never have a fair shake as long as you sink down to their level. When you pretend that you see, well, the Lord forbid you pretend that you see it their way or that you accept one of their philosophies, you're a fucking idiot. If you accept their scale of a man, I'm going to try to find this picture for you. It was a picture of a black guy. He's kneeling by his car and his license plate says success. Ironically, I found it the same day today that I found a picture that talks about how the wise woman judges a man by what drives him and not what he drives. So you see how there's two different scales here. There's this rich guy. He happens to be black, probably a house nigga, I don't know. But definitely taking on a house nigga philosophy. So in that aspect, he certainly is. And he has accepted Babylon's philosophies, or at least one of them. And he benefits from it, at least in his mind. So he says, look, see it this way. I am better than the next man because I am successful. Right? He has basically put his philosophy on his custom license plate. I am successful when it comes to Babylon's scale, but what he's also saying is that he's a dumb son of a bitch that has accepted the very same philosophy that has oppressed his people for hundreds of years. So he's an idiot. I want you all to turn to Philippians 4:7 when you're done with this video. I'll put it at the end. I don't want to misquote it. I don't have it in front of me. But I want you all to look at that. It talks about transcending and how the peace of God transcends all understanding. So no matter how smart you think you are, how clever you are, how much you game the system, even if you're the king of Babylon's system, you're just the king of illusion. You're an idiot. You may as well be the best at playing marbles or playing dolls. Should we really give a fucking shit who's the best at tic-tac-toe? Or some hoe shit like that? Fuck your game. And fuck anyone who's stupid enough to give you props for it. Oh my goodness. It goes back to the question Gaddafi asked those who were betraying him. For whose benefit? By God, for whose benefit? And of course, we know the answer to that. Everyone who has vested interest with maintaining the despicable philosophies of Babylon's system, which is the purpose of Masonry, really, to uphold Babylon's system, and in the process to have vested interest as a builder and a maintenance man of Babylon's system, a social controller, to have vested interest in upholding these atrocious and deplorable mainstream social norms, which work in the favor of the oppressor and every unwise coward who is dumb enough to help the oppressor. Sniveling weaklings, men of little faith. Even if there was no God, these people have reduced themselves to being a slave to money, and that is pathetic. It is much better to live as a man of honor and principle than being to some kind of slave to Babylon's system, some kind of servant of Babylon, hopelessly obsessed with money and pussy to the point where you can't do the right thing no matter how many people die, preventable deaths. That is a very disgusting state of living. Does there have to be a God, for example, for you to know that if somebody spends their days swimming in shit and drinking blood from dying babies, that is disgusting? For the same reason, it is disgusting for them to aspire to be some kind of Scrooge McDuck, money-following, worshiping little bitch. Please. That is beneath even the lowest of beings in heaven, for example. It should be beneath every single grown man on the planet. And hopefully every woman. success? What do you cowards, what do you bootlicking fucking pussies know about success? It's been written once that success is a journey, not a destination, right? I guess this dumbass took it to mean that, oh, you put it on your car to show you that you're going on a journey. I'm driving to the bank. And the journey that you are on, you materialistic, money-worshipping, house nigga pussy, is not a journey of success, but enslavement. Maybe if you weren't so busy sucking a goat dick, a devil dick, a wolf dick, or a viper's tail, you would see that I am correct.